Hello, welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, I bring you the magnet releasing movie from 2007, Big Man Japan. And before I get started, let me take care of a little bit of business first, and then I'll get into the non spoiler version of it, and then we'll go from there. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see a video pop up at the very end here. And basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops up there just for you. Up here is going to be Stargirls. What's going to pop up there? If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. I change it out every Monday. And I also have links to all my social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tiers set up as of yet in the Patreon. Wait until I hit 1,000 subscribers and give you guys something. I like to give people something for, money and all that kind of stuff. Crazy me. I know that what that is. Also on there, I have links to this YouTube page and my Facebook page. And for those of you who still have Facebook, I have a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. There we go. So let's get into the non-spoiler version of this. So what the fuck is this movie about? Is what you're saying. It's got a weird, promo. You've seen the thumbnail that I've done for this video. And you're probably going, what the hell is this movie about? That's exactly the same thing I said to myself when me and my buddy Warren knows he's out there. Shout out to Warren, by the way. Sat down in 2008, I think it was, and we were watching this movie going, what the fuck is this? So it's a mockumentary. Yes, Big Man Japan is what it's called, Morks. It's a Japanese movie. It's with Japanese subtitles. The guy who wrote and directed it also stars in the movie too. His name is Hitoshi Matsumoto. And if you ever, so in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even, in the 2000s as well, there's a genre called tokusatsu. And what is tokusatsu? Essentially what it translates to is special effects. So any TV series that has some kind of special effects to it. So like Ultraman, Power Rangers, Japanese TV had a shit ton of these things like Android Kick Raider, Kamen Rider, of course, France 5, things like that. And of course, I grew up with Ultraman from the 60s kind of stuff. And then also there was the Robot Family. I can't remember what the names were, all that kind of stuff. This is a mockumentary of that, is what this is. And we're following around one of the last of these superheroes, if you will, and played by Hiroshi. Uh, and yeah, it's a little, excuse me, not Hiroshi, Hitoshi, excuse me, played by Hitoshi. And so Hitoshi actually he gives us a little bit of what it's like to be one of these the human aspect of the superhero, if you will. And we also get some kaiju fight scenes going on too. It's a slow burn, I'll say this, but it's also a comedy, by the way, too. It is a comedy. It has all the tropes of tokusatsu. If you've watched any of this stuff, uh, if you're a fan of this stuff, you'll notice all the different tropes in there. And I mean, he throws everything in there. And is it worth it? Yes, it is. It is worth your time to go and watch this. And I would even suggest sitting through the credits because there is a scene. Well, actually, it's not even a scene. Yeah, it is a scene that plays throughout the entire credits. And it's fucking funny as hell. It's probably the best part of the movie, but you have to watch the rest of the movie in order to get it. Um, yeah. And yes, you have my ear, is what Mark says. What the fuck is that? So yes, I like the kaiju tokusatsu stuff. There is actually a channel on Pluto TV, which is a streaming service, by the way, and you've heard me talk about this before, called Tokushoutsu, and it's from Shout Factory. They are playing like Ultraman Leo on loop, and Kamen Rider as well, and a couple others, two others, I believe, as well. Um, so yeah, that kind of stuff. And by the way, Big Man Japan is also on can be found on Pluto TV for free. It's going to have commercials in it, and also on Tubi TV, Tubi TV, which is also another streaming service for free. They have really shitty commercial placements. I'm just going to say that right now. So they kind of break up the action a little bit. So there you go, Marks. I told you where to find it. So is it worth your time? Yeah, like I said, it starts off as a very slow burn. You're going to say, "What the fuck is this? What has Dennis told me to watch?" It is worth your time, trust me. Stick through it, the entire thing. Uh and yes, it is subtitled. I'm not going to lie to you right now. It's in Japanese, but it's subtitled, and it's actually funny. It's really funny with the subtitles because there's shit that's going on all around him. There are signs and stuff like that that are and they translate this as he's riding by them or walking by these signs that are in Japanese. And that's pretty much all I can say without spoiling it, because any more than that would actually spoil it. So now, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the rest of it. So for those of you who actually have seen the movie, or just don't really care and or just want to know more about it, I am going to spoil it. So stick around for the spoiler version of this. Um, where do I start with this one? I love that it is a slow burn. Like I said, I rewatched this again last night. I've watched this. Mark says I'm out. I love the genre. Need to watch it. Go and watch it, Marks. You won't be disappointed. Like I said, it is a slow burn at first, but stick with it. So, yeah, you're welcome. So, this movie, uh, at first, I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was watching this, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's a mockumentary, but it's also a kaiju movie. It didn't make any sense. And basically, it's this guy who is the last remaining superhero in Tokyo, and he turns big when he gets shocked with electricity, is what happens. So he ends up becoming a giant superhero, and he's the last protector of Tokyo. But everyone fucking hates him, even though he's protecting Tokyo from all these giant monsters. And they actually film his shows or film his battles and show them on TV, but they only take place at like 2:30 in the morning. They get a really low ratings, all this stuff. His manager is essentially stealing from him. She's always buying new cars and stuff like that while he lives a really shitty life. And they talk about how it was a family legacy, and how his grandfather was one of these kaiju as well, kaiju fighters, if you will. And like I said, it has a lot of tropes of the tokatsu, uh, tokusatsu. There we go. I've got to actually pronounce it tokusatsu, because otherwise I fuck it up. You know how I am with names and all that kind of shit. And yes, you can mock me in the comments all you want. Um, I know my pronunciation is horrible. I can't even say my last name half the time. So there you go. Uh, one of the things that made me laugh the fuck out loud was there was even the whole thing where you have usually one of the main characters' friends, who's a human friend, ends up in the hospital, and kind of cheering on the monster, the kaiju fighter from the hospital bed. And there's usually some kind of injury. They usually have their head wrapped. And there's one scene in there. It's somebody who's not even related to him at this point, who has her eyes wrapped over, and yeah, it's the fucking funniest thing. I started laughing because I've watched, like I said, all this Ultraman Leo stuff that's been on Tokusatsu recently and Kamen Rider, things like that. It's pretty much on loop in my house right now because it's background noise for me. And yeah, I forgot how good this thing was. But the kicker for me on this one is the very end. So you're getting to the end of the movie, and he's at this point he's been running from this one kaiju in particular. It looks like a little demon baby, if you will, but big because been beating the shit out of him. He carries a big stick, is what he carries. That's what he uses. He doesn't have any special powers or anything like that. He just carries a big stick. And he gets really big. And this demon baby is actually taking the stick from him, beating the shit out of him a couple of times, and that actually caused his ratings to go up because of him getting the shit kicked out of him. Uh, because everyone loves that. Uh, so the final scene, the final part of the movie is he has essentially the science ministry forces him to fight the devil baby. They sneak into his house with a this gigantic electrical generator, if you will, hook him up and make him big, destroying his house. And the devil baby is there. And as he's getting the shit kicked out of him, all of a sudden, we hear it, you know, you see the screen kind of cut out and it says, "We're now going to watch, you're now going to watch this live," is what it says. And the vision changes. So the special effects are actually really good at this point. They do a really good job with the CGI and whatnot. And then once it changes, it goes back to the old 60s style with guys in suits and the cardboard cutouts of the buildings and whatnot. And we get another super family that shows up called Super Justice and the Super Justice family. So Super Justice Mama, Super Justice Daddy, Super Justice Sister, and Super Justice Baby. And they proceed to beat the shit out of this baby devil thing. And I swear I was crying laughing because at one point you've got Super Justice Sister rolling up newspaper into tubes, handing it off to Super Justice, and he's beating the fuck out of whoever's in this baby devil suit. And I mean, he's going to town on him, and they're ripping off his clothing. And at one point, Super Justice Dad has Baby Devil by the underwear because they ripped off all the clothing at this point, and he's trying to rip off the underwear, and he can't rip the underwear off. And I mean, it's literally a minute and a half, 2 minutes of him trying to rip the fucking underwear off. It's the weirdest thing you will ever see, but also the funniest thing you will ever see. And yeah, so they end up flying away with Big Man Japan at the end. And after the credits, because they've invited him back to to their place, and they're having dinner. And as the credits are rolling, you have them sitting around the table, and Super Justice Mama is criticizing what Super Justice did wrong, and pretty much what everyone did wrong around the table, except for Big Man Japan because he is their guest. And then, of course, Super Justice just cuts into, he starts going off on Big Man Japan at this point, and saying, "Why didn't you do anything? You don't have any powers. You suck." And I mean, it's worth the price of admission. That's all I can say on that one. So, is it worth your time? Yes, it is, especially if you're a fan of the kaiju genre, tokusatsu genre, any of that. Uh, yeah, Hitoshi Matsumoto did a great job of mocking this and also giving a little pathos to the character as well. You actually feel sorry for him, because of some of the shit, but then you also realize he's allowed a lot of this stuff to happen to him too. He hasn't really taken any responsibility for some of the shit that's going on. So he's a victim of his own circumstances, if you will. And yeah, it's good stuff. It's well worth it. Like I said, it's free. You can find it. When I watched it in 2008, literally with my buddy Warren, we were just sitting there kind of going, "What the fuck did we just watch?" It is that kind of mind blowing where you're because at first you're just like, this is kind of boring. Eh, that's kind of funny. Huh. And as it goes along, you're just it's building more and more and more until you get to that end thing, and then you're just like, wow, that was just amazing. I want more of this. And yeah, I haven't heard anything more from this guy. I saw that he is doing some stuff on Amazon. I don't know if that's Amazon Japan or Amazon over here. I actually have to look some more into it and find out what he's doing because yeah, man. Um that was just awesome. And there was some rumors back in 2013, believe it was 2014, that they were going to do a remake of this, an American remake called Big Man USA or Big Man United States. Uh, and that never came to fruition, thankfully, because honestly, they would just fucking ruin it. Because there's just no way you can actually do that. There's no way you can redo this movie and make it as crazy as it is. It just won't translate well. It really won't. We don't have anything like that in our movie lexicon over here other than what came over from Japan. So there is nothing similar to that. And excuse me. It just won't make sense. It really won't if they try doing an American remake of that. So, like I said, take a look over on Pluto TV and Tubi TV and find it, or you can just search on your if you have like a Amazon Fire Stick or Amazon Fire TV or a Roku or something like that. Just search for it, Big Man Japan, and you should be able to find it. I think it's even on YouTube as well. Someone might have actually copied it over to YouTube, or you can probably even find it on Amazon and buy it. It's worth a buy. I think I bought a digital copy, if I remember correctly, someplace in my stuff that I've got. So what else do I have going on? Tomorrow I'm off because it's Wednesday. Thursday is Doom Patrol. That's right. Doom Patrol, new episode of Doom Patrol on Thursday. Friday I'm off. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where it takes the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And we talk about it. Sunday I'm off. Monday is going to be Stargirl. We're getting close to the end on Stargirl and Doom Patrol. And then, of course, Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. Oh, I do know what I'm doing on Is It Worth My Time? It's going to be the season 2 of Umbrella Academy because that's what comes out on Friday. That's right. Umbrella Academy comes out on Friday. And next Tuesday, Is It Worth My Time? Umbrella Academy season 2. I'm not going to go episode by episode on that one. I did it last time for season 1, and everyone's been telling me just to do the entire season like that. Exactly like that. All right. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like that, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube notifying you. So best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there and also all the links to my social media and the link to my Facebook page and the link to a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. So until Thursday, I'm going to let you guys go. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get the shit kicked out of you with a gigantic rolled up piece of rolled up newspaper by someone named Super Justice. Um, who, yeah, just for the hell of it. I don't know why. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Until then, have a good night and stay safe, be well, and take care. Good night, everybody.